Hello! In this tutorial, I am going to talk to you about finding court dockets and court filings. A docket is a record of proceedings in a case. It's essentially a timeline of the case and the proceedings. You may also be able to find filings for a case, including complaints, answers, briefs, motions, etc. State dockets, especially dockets with the filings, are harder to find than federal dockets. The easiest way to search for a docket is if you have the docket number, and I've provided an example of a docket number with an explanation of what each number means on the slide for you. Just note that all federal courts use this basic numbering scheme, and an individual court will not reuse a case number, but another court may use that same number. So it's really important that you pay attention to what court you are searching for your docket for, because multiple cases can have the same number. Also note that state courts use a variety of docket numbering schemes, and every one is a little different. So you really need to understand the docket numbering system for your court. When you are searching for dockets, there's a few places you can search. You can do an advanced search on Google. You can also access PACER, which is the Public Access to Court Electronic Records, and this is where you would find federal court dockets. Bloomberg has a really nice docket searching platform, and it has federal cases and some state court cases. And then court websites or clerk of the court websites are really your best bet for finding state court dockets and filings. Moving on to finding dockets and filings, the first thing I want to talk about is your Google Advanced search. So the best way to use Google Advanced for finding any kind of filing that may have been uploaded to the internet is run a search for maybe a party name and the type of filing you're looking for. So maybe a complaint or an answer or an interrogatory or whatever it is that you're looking for. And then limit your file type to a PDF. Because if it's been uploaded to the internet, it's going to be uploaded as a PDF. So, check your party name, enter the type of filing you're looking for, and limit to PDF. And that might locate the filing that you're looking for, especially if it's a well-known publicized case. Next, we have PACER for your federal court dockets and filings. And anybody can use PACER. But you do have to register for an account, and you'll find the link in the upper left-hand corner to register for an account on PACER. Also note, though, that PACER is not entirely free. It does cost 10 cents per page. However, if you download less than $30 worth of materials a quarter, you won't be billed for that access. So if you were to download, $25 worth of content from PACER, and at 10 cents a page, that's quite a bit of content, you won't be billed at all. So it can be free. You just kind of have to monitor your usage, which you can once you set up your account. You can monitor your account and your billing information. And if you have any questions, they do have information about the pricing structure on the PACER website as well. Also note that if you are working in the federal court system or filing a court in federal court, this is where you do your filing. And so you'll see a box here for filing electronically, and they have information on how to do that. To search for cases, you're just going to hover over that search for case box, and you can see that you can search by specific court. You can search by national index. They do have some court opinions on here as well, and there is information about obtaining specific court records via phone access. But typically what you're going to do when you're looking for your dockets and your filings is search by national index. And if you're logged into PACER, you should be taken straight to the PACER case locator. You're going to find your links to your quick searches here. You can also find them under the drop down for new search. But basically you can run a basic case search, an advanced case search, a basic party search, an advanced party search, And you can also search specifically for bankruptcy cases. My favorite way to search in Pacer is by party, particularly an advanced party search, because I will tell you the searching in Pacer can sometimes be a little finicky. Like if you would think that if you had your docket number, that would be the quickest and easiest way to search, but sometimes it's very specific about, did you put the hyphen in the right spot? Did you, you know, capitalize it the right way? Did you, it can just be really, really finicky. So for me, I prefer to just skip all of that frustration and I usually just search by party. But everybody has their own preference, so choose the option that you prefer. But let's go ahead and show you how to do that party search. And at the start, it is a pretty basic search, but there are some helpful filters here. So some of those you can limit by the party's role. You can narrow by court type. So is this civil? Is this criminal? That might help you narrow your results. You have some date filters in here. You have the case status. Is it opened? Is it closed? Some of those fields can be really helpful. Just again, though, Pacer can be finicky. So if you have a failed search the first time, don't get frustrated. It happens to all of us. Just kind of go back and keep tweaking your terms, especially if you're trying to use your case number, because again, it just gets really, really picky with that. And so I just ran a basic search for Bernard Madoff, and this is my results list. There are 19 in here, and I have the party name, the case number, the case title, the court that it was in, the date it was filed, and the date it was closed if it has been closed. And if you click on the case number, you'll be able to run an additional query. And so this is what the query page looks like. There are a few different links here, like there's a case summary and a docket report, but the one that you're most interested in for finding those actual filings, so finding those complaints and those answers and motions and transcripts and things like that, is going to be located under the History and Documents tab. And while we're talking about Pacer, I do want to talk about Recap, which is just Pacer backwards. And what you can do with Recap is you can search for any court filings from Pacer that people have already accessed and added to this project. So some people have added these Recap extensions to their browser, so Firefox, Chrome, and Safari. And whenever they download something from Pacer, Recap grabs it and adds it to their collection so that people can access these filings without paying a fee to Pacer. So it's worth checking out Recap before you go spending any money in Pacer, because you may be able to actually access your filings for free because somebody has already added them to this collection, especially if it's a well-known trending case. Next, we have Bloomberg, and you will find on the homepage of Bloomberg, underneath popular links, a link to Dockets. And if you click on the Dockets link, that will take you to the search page for running a docket search. And you're going to see this has a lot more options than you had in Pacer. This is a lot easier to use. So you can add some keywords. You can narrow by your court, which is really helpful. And you're going to see they have federal courts here. And Bloomberg has been adding state courts. So you may be able to find some state court filings here as well, including Florida. Scrolling on down, you can narrow by the filing type. Maybe you're looking for a specific item. Resolution, you can add party names, you can search by judge, you can add a docket number, you can also narrow by date, and so on. So a lot of search features available here in Bloomberg. It's my favorite to use, but I understand that you're not going to necessarily have access to this when you are out in practice, but make the most of it while you are here. So once you've run a search and you've found the case you wanted, this is what the entry will look like. And if you scroll down, you're going to find some docket information, parties and attorneys, but then you're going to get down here to your docket entries where you can run some additional searches because sometimes there are hundreds of filings, and it might be beneficial to just run a search of all of those to pull up exactly what you need rather than wading through everything. But just scrolling through, you're going to find two options to download the PDFs. If somebody has already requested this filing, you'll see the word view, and you should be able to click on that and you will get the PDF right away because it's already in Bloomberg's system, because they are pulling these materials from Pacer. If nobody has requested the item before, it'll say request, and you will need to click the request, and that might take a little bit longer for them to get. Also, kind of note if they're trial level dockets or state dockets, sometimes it'll say a courier is required and they're unable to retrieve those items. They need to find items that are available online via Pacer or state filing systems. So those are sort of the limitations of Bloomberg, but for the most part, it's pretty good about finding filings for federal court materials and some states. And then remember, if you are looking for state court dockets and filings, your best bet is the court website or the clerk of the court website. There was not time in this tutorial to cover all of those. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. You can email us, call us, or stop by and see us.